We're very fortunate to live in this borough with so much greenery around us, so many beautiful buildings, but we're not exempt from the effects of climate change, and it has an effect on which species can thrive and which can't. We have increasing problems with some of our trees that can't cope with the increasing temperature or indeed the increasing lack of rain at certain times of the year. So if we really want to keep our world and the wider world in good condition, we have to address climate change issues. We launched earlier this year the Richmond Biodiversity Action Plan, at which Sir David Attenborough made a stimulating speech to encourage our efforts. This is to ensure that we identify species which are at the possibility of having such small numbers they can't continue, and devise ways of approaching that, but also to look at habitats. One of the things the council can do, indeed we can all do, is plant more trees. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and emit oxygen. They're probably the easiest and strongest way of slowing down climate change. We are going to increase the volume of planting of new trees. We're going to make sure they're species which are adaptable to our changing temperature and climate, and cover as much of the borough as possible. Private garden space is a considerable proportion of the land in this borough, as in all boroughs, particularly in outer London, and the way you manage your property at home is extremely important. Artificial grass may have attractions, but it is not at all good for the environment. It's not necessarily permeable, it doesn't support any sort of life, and particularly some of our less thriving bird species who rely on what we do in our gardens to a great degree, as do hedgehogs and all sorts of species. So we really have a responsibility to our local mammals and birds and insects to manage our gardens in the best possible way.